award they had started giving at the 1955 World Science Fiction Convention, named after Hugo Gernsback, the first pulp editor of science fiction. Double Star was given the Hugo Award for Best Novel of 1956 at the 15th World Science Fiction Convention in London in 1957. Robert was out of the country at the time, and in any case no one had bothered to inform him even about the nomination. Normally, the Hugo is a beautiful, hand-wrought, nickel-steel rocket with stabilizing fins, the same shape as the rocket he had designed for Destination Moon in 1950, mounted on a wooden base of some kind. But that year, the manufacturer didn't finish the award in time, and the announcements were made without the awards being presented. Double Star went from printing to printing, in its book club edition particularly, and publishers gradually learned, at Heinlein's expense, the value of a Hugo Award for marketing purposes. At a tooth-grating reduced royalty of about a nickel per copy, the science fiction book club was a financial disaster for Heinlein. Fortunately, paperback sales almost made up for it. Heinlein had been surprised when the Hugo Award showed up with no explanation in his mail in 1958, and he asked around among his friends and colleagues. Someone, probably Cyril Kornbluth, told Heinlein the award had been picked up by Forey Ackerman on his behalf, and he had never bothered to send it along. Kornbluth was maliciously stirring up trouble. For a variety of reasons, Heinlein was already about soured on Forrest J. Ackerman as it was possible to be, but Kornbluth died suddenly that year and never set the record straight. Heinlein remained convinced that no-good Paskudniak accepted his Hugo for Double Star without authorization and kept it for a year or more. It was a sore point for decades. In 1973, the matter came up again, and Forey tried to track down the source of the malicious story and give Heinlein the facts of the case, but the message seems never to have gotten through. After Heinlein's death in 1988, Forey was presented with a unique opportunity. Channeling was all the rage in Hollywood that year, and some fan friends set up a séance specifically to channel Robert Heinlein's spirit from beyond. Forey was invited to participate. Now, Forrest Ackerman was not a particularly credulous person, but he was willing to play along with the gag. He had his question prepared for the occasion. I said, "Well, Bob, now that you're on the astral plane and you see everything with cosmic viewpoint, how do you feel about Hugo?" The channeler said, "Mr. Heinlein is a little puzzled by that question, Mr. Ackerman. He doesn't know just exactly what you mean. He presumes you're referring to the French author Victor Hugo." Interview conducted by Dr. Robert James, June 9, 2000. So the incident was used, after all those years, to debunk a fake psychic. Some good came of it after all. Double Star remains one of Heinlein's best-beloved books, the winner of the first of 4 Hugos he would ultimately receive, all for Best Novel. This is a record that has never been surpassed. The other Hugos were for books that challenge their readers, controversial works that provoke outrage and argument even now, 40-plus years later. Double Star shows Heinlein's other side, ingratiating, tickling, amusing, and entertaining without challenging, a peak of his form many fans and readers wish he had never moved off. But Heinlein had new territories he wanted to explore, and Double Star was written during a time in which he felt increasingly constricted by publishing taboos. Double Star was at the peak of his maturity as a writer within the community and supremely in tune with it, but his own personal golden age was yet to come. 1. If a man walks in dressed like a hick and acting as if he owned the place, he's a spaceman. It's a logical necessity. His profession makes him feel like boss of all creation. When he sets foot dirt-side, he is slumming among the peasants. As for his sartorial inelegance, a man who is in uniform 9/10 of the time and is more used to deep space than to civilization can hardly be expected to know how to dress properly.